They said I should have kept writing my answers. Instead, I walked out of my exam, because in the hallway, under a flickering light, a girl was crying without a sound, and her hands were begging for a voice. My name is Calder Wynn, Riverton Community College. Winter. The kind of cold that chips at your attention. Inside room 204, organic chemistry midterm, 40% of the grade. Scholarship on the line. My pencil shook. Test anxiety is a ritual my body performs without my consent. I chew the same corner of my sleeve. I count ceiling stains. I hear clocks that aren't there. Across the hall, through the narrow glass, I saw Ariadne Vale. Green coat, hair pinned by a thin silver hairpin shaped like a treble clef. Her interpreter didn't show. The counselor was speaking. She couldn't hear. Her hands moved, sharp, fast, scared, ASL like lightning with nowhere to strike. I knew just enough sign to be dangerous, enough to mess up. But I also knew silence has a temperature, and hers was freezing. So I stood, left my name on a half-finished test. Walked out. In the hallway, I lifted my hands, clumsy as thawing birds. Hi, Calder, I can try. Her eyes flicked to my lips, to my hands, to the hairpin she reached up and tapped. 1, 2, like setting tempo for courage. We sat on the floor. She needed a meeting translated today about lab placement and safety rules. I spelled slowly. She corrected me, smiling, then frowning, then smiling again. We built a flimsy bridge of fingers over winter. When we finished, she pressed a graphite smudged index card into my hand. On it, she drew 2 circles touching, then overlapping, then a motion like clasped hands. She signed, Covalent Share. A tiny lesson, a gift I didn't deserve. I went back to class to face whatever avalanche I had just invited. That day cost me my scholarship. It also gave me a story that would not let me go. Ariadne's path was not the miracle kind. It was nights shelving groceries, mornings memorizing lab terms with a mirror and a phone camera, afternoons practicing how to see heat, smell danger, track whispers she could not hear. Our chemistry department had no standard ASL for half its syllabus. People improvised, people argued, people gave up. Ariadne did not. She kept the index card. It lived in her wallet, edges soft, pencil faded. On bad days, she'd take it out, thumb the smudge, and remember that first sign. Covalent, share. Share patience with herself. Share stubbornness with the world. She started a campus circle. 4 deaf students, a hearing lab assistant named Noor, and me. We'd gather in the library basement between humming pipes and tired lamps and build signs that felt like the ideas. Titration became 2 careful pours that meet level, then a tiny knot of balance. Enthalpy curled from chest to air as if releasing warmth held too long. Stoichiometry. Ariadne laughed, then choreographed counting taps across the knuckles, precise and stubborn. People pushed back. A professor said, "This is cute but not official." An online forum wrote, "Who are you to decide?" Even I'm not proud, snapped once when my own grades were slipping. I can't be your interpreter every time. The room went quiet, a silence not of deafness, but of hurt. Flaw. Here's my crack. I want to be useful so badly that I forget to be kind to myself. Then I burn out. Then I say the wrong thing. Ariadne signed slowly so I couldn't miss. You are not my bridge. We are building many. She tapped the hairpin again. 1, 2, resetting the tempo of forgiveness. We found allies. Noor hacked together a shared glossary. A retired chemist named Dr. Elbridge offered lab space. We tested signs with students from other campuses. We scrapped half our early work. We argued whether a sign should look like the equipment or feel like the process. Hands learned to draw what mouths once owned. There were failures that stung. A near accident in the lab because someone mistook dilute for dispose. Long emails from strangers accusing Ariadne of inventing language for attention. Rent due. Food sparse, dreams heavy. Still, the index card kept showing up, on desks, in pockets, taped above the sink. A stubborn smudge asking us to keep sharing the burden. Crisis. The university set a hearing. Cease the unsanctioned sign-making. You're creating confusion. Without a recognized standard, labs wouldn't adopt our work. Our glossary was a beautiful rumor. Ariadne wrote her statement overnight by the vending machines. I paced. I wanted to defend her like a shield, but this was not about my voice. In the hearing room, she began with a story. She signed about safety goggles fogging, about lips under masks, about heat you can't hear. She held up the index card. Language, she signed, is a lab tool. This one fits our hands. A pause. Then she did something I never expected. She signed, I am not asking, I am offering. You can fail me, but you cannot unlearn the signs we've already given each other. She placed the card on the table between us and the panel, right where everyone could see the smudge. They didn't approve, but they didn't shut us down. Sometimes the door stays closed. Sometimes a window giggles and pops. Noor posted our first 100 signs. They spread, slow, messy, alive. A high school in Idaho used them. A biotech startup in Boston asked for a workshop. A lab in Arizona sent a video correcting our sign for buffer with a better, cleaner movement. We wrote back, yes, yours is clearer. We updated, we credited, we kept sharing. The work of years. Years passed. Ariadne worked nights, studied days. She failed exams, retook them. She earned a seat at a national conference. She built a team called Foundry Hands. Deaf chemists, interpreters, educators, and together they forged a standardized ASL chemistry lexicon. Open, rigorous, and reviewed. Not a miracle, a grind with bright moments. People started signing Ariadne, not as a celebrity, as a verb. Who's going to Ariadne this mess? 15 years after I walked out of that exam, I went to her keynote. I had moved cities, lost emails and hard drive funerals. I wasn't sure she would even remember me. I wasn't sure I deserved to be remembered. On stage, the screens bloomed with hands. A sea of motion, a roar of silence. After I stood in line. When I reached her, she looked at my face and didn't place it. She tilted her head, apologized. The crush of people behind me moving the air. The small knot pulled tight. I could have let it go. Instead, I took a breath, lifted my hands and signed clumsy, exactly as I had years ago. Hi, Calder, can try? Then I did the thing I was most ashamed of. I took out my wallet and unfolded the graphite smudged index card I had carried all this time. 2 circles, overlap, clasped hands. Covalent, share. Ariadne stared. Her hand rose to her hair by reflex, searching for a hairpin she no longer wore. Her fingers tapped the air. 1, 2, keeping time with a memory. Her eyes filled. She placed her palm against mine, not as a thank you, not as a debt, but as a seal on a long experiment. No speeches, no moral, just 2 hands, warm at last, over a smudged card that had done its quiet work in the dark. If a story must end somewhere, let it end here, with a lab table crowded by new students, with signs that make heat visible and danger unmistakable, with a hairpin in a museum case, a tiny treble clef that once kept time for courage, and an index card under glass that says only, covalent, share.